years. I just retired this year, so now I have some time to talk this Saturday. It's a little old high school, Bishop Ford's and Park Slope. We won 10 Brooklyn championships, 5 Brooklyn Queens championships within that span. I also ran the New York City Marathon and Chicago Marathon as well the past 2 years. I went to Bishop Ford in the early 1990s, coached by Lou Vasquez. Many of you know him from the Icon Stadium. So he was my mentor coach. We came second and third in cross country those years. In New York State, that is. New York State, second and third in New York State in the early 1990s. And later, when I started coaching, I was mentored by Sean Rice, which a lot of you know, coach of Powerhouse program in Midwood, which is still a pretty strong program as well. So they've been my mentors, and now continuing cross country and tradition as well at Bishop Ford High School. First of all, before I get into training and racing strategies, it'd be nice to have 5 runners or 7 runners just to run cross country. That's the hardest part. Building a program. Now, I come from a school that don't have 100 kids trying out for track and field. I come from a small school, a very small school. So number 1, you gotta motivate. So in order to motivate, you gotta show them, guess what? Cross country is important. It's not just, okay, this is a springboard towards indoor. If you wanna run a true program, you have to show enthusiasm to that program. Okay? What I tell the freshmen and sophomores is, be patient. Be patient. It's a program. I've seen kids that couldn't walk and chew gum at the same time. Guess what? If you follow the program, you will be successful. The way I make them see that is by the older runners. It's like this person ran, say, 10:30 as a freshman. Now is breaking 17 minutes for a 5K or 14 minutes for 2.5. So you could be there. Thank you. So you just gotta either motivate them with little things. We have an all-time list. Like we have a breaking, well, we run 2.5 slots. So we have ever who broke the history, 14 minutes at Bishop Ford. So little kids, they look up to that, they wanna be on that list. So little things, motivation. Goals, you know. Summer's the most important time for cross country. If they don't put in their miles during the summer, I cannot implement my program. It's going to be hard. They're going to be a month behind as far as implementing my program. So even to motivate them during the summer, getting the 500-mile t-shirts out, or making the wave team. We like to travel. We travel probably twice per season. Now I know they have this new event, Great Adventure. The last couple of years, the Great Adventure, it's like, if you put your mileage in the summer, go to the various camps, you will go. That is another way of motivating. Okay, here they're handing out a paper. It's about periodization. Okay? Everyone uses a form of periodization. It's about loading and cutting, and then the structure of loading and rest periods. Okay, as far as periodization, everyone has some sort of system of periodization. I'm going to give you what we do at Ford. First of all, once the season ends, come outdoor season, I tell them give them a complete week off. I say take a week off, don't do nothing, concentrate on your studies. Week off. You want to reset the body from the previous seasons. Then the following week, usually I just want them to do some sort of cross training. So I get some sort of cross training, whether that's biking, swimming, whatever that may be. Cross training. Then from there, slowly introducing the body back to running again. Okay? Just 4 days a week, 20 minutes. This is still in June. Okay? Late June. Like 4 days a week, 20, 25 minutes. All depending on the level of your athlete, of course. Okay, so about 20, 25 minutes, 4 days a week. Basically, by July 4th, I want them to have a base of 5 miles, 3 to 5 miles, depending on their level, by July 4th. Seems pretty simple. It's just slowly building them back up. In July, so based on about July, they're going to run a variation between 5 to 8 miles. At this time, during the summer, July, I don't care anything about speed or anything. I'm just building a base. Okay? This is the first part of the periodization. It's the base part. During the summer, it's like, for me, it's like a bank. Safe deposit bank. You're accumulating miles to peak come October. Okay? August, around August, by then, I want them at least running 8 to 10 miles. Okay, they should be able to run 8 to 10 miles by August. Okay, about 5-6 days a week, about 8 to 10 miles in August. Basically, for the whole summer, I like them to be within range of 350 to 500 miles. Or depending when your outdoor season ends, of course. Some people, they go all the way late. I usually end in June. Okay, it all depends when your outdoor season ends. So usually I like them between 350 to 500 miles. I had a kid last year, Devin Rocks, like you might have seen and heard. He did exactly what I said. He had 500 to the point in September. He ended up running 13:06 last year for Van Cortlandt. And unfortunately, he fell during the city championship, still qualified for the states. So his goal was to break 13 minutes. Unfortunately, he didn't get it because he fell, but at least he still ran a decent time. So now comes September. Okay, well, even late August, they're going to probably go to the camps in August, and depending what camps you go to, we go to the running school. That really helps to set my program come September, because they're running 2-a-days at camps. They're running 2-a-days at camps, so they're going to probably do about 60 to 70 miles that week. Usually right after camps, I kind of let them ease back into the program, give them about 2 days off, provided recover. Recovery is also important. You're going to hear some crazy workouts, but recovery at the end is very important. So in August, also, we're doing some tempo running, some hills. Of course, cross country deals with hills. Okay, when I say tempo runs, say during, not doing so much set speed runs, during their like 6-mile runs, they're running a quarter hard, a quarter easy. Prospect Park is great now, everything's labeled. They have a quarter marker, so sometimes I tell the kids, do 2 loops apart, a quarter hard, a quarter easy. The run goes more interesting and goes back by a lot quicker. This is going to help their overall average mile pace go down when they go for a run. That and repeat hills help your overall, want to run faster for longer, it's going to help your overall average speed time go down. Say you just go for a basic like 5-6 mile run at like 7:30 pace. When you do tempo runs or uphills, 3 or 4 days later, next thing you know, you're going the same pace, but next thing you know, you're running 7:15 mile pace for a 6-7 mile run. It works. I just know for even myself the last 2 years doing marathon training, by doing this stuff. So it really works as far as getting over a mile pace down. Okay, September hits. Everyone had a great summer. They put in their mileage. September hits. Mondays, a typical loading week. A typical loading week would be, this is what typical loading week what I do. Say, it's like I said, if they did everything, they're in great shape. Keep in mind, you have to adjust according to your athletes. I don't do this every year. When I know I have a great team, I can do this program. So Mondays and Wednesdays, we like to double. Run about 3 to 4 in the morning. So they come to school at 6:45 a.m. and they get about 3 to 4 miles in. In the afternoon on Mondays, those are true lactic threshold days. You're doing some speed, like distance-wise. Doing 3-mile warm-up. Once we do that 3-mile warm-up, they stretch out. We like to do dynamic stretching, dynamic drills. Dynamic stretching means with movement. Okay, like we like to prepare like we're doing a race. Once we start like a speed workout, like the way we're going to prepare for a race. So we're doing dynamic stretching, dynamic drills, then strides. Then from there, on Mondays, usually it's going to be either mile intervals, or halves, or thousands. Usually the miles is going to be about 15 seconds faster than their 5K race pace. Or elite athlete is going to be a little bit faster. The whole idea of this is to stress the body so you can run longer and faster over a long period of time. Okay, you need to stress the body, this way you adapt to that stress, and later when you cut down, it's able to perform. So Mondays, like I said, typical Monday, you'll do either mile repeats, say with a 2 minutes rest, about 4 of them, or have something longer as far as repetitions. Then guess what? We do a 3-mile cool down. So that one day, we're going to have about a 10-mile day in. 10 mile a day. Tuesdays, it's set for recovery. Just a 5-mile, about 5-6 mile run. It's a recovery day. And recovery and core. Okay, I usually do push-ups, sit-ups, core. On cross country, you don't need to do heavy weight training. Okay, it's really for cross country. You don't see these people who, big people running cross country. You don't see the Kenyans out there, they're thin, they're lean. Muscles weigh you down, so we don't do heavy weight training. We do like form training, we do push-ups, sit-ups, core, the basic core routine. So Tuesdays will be a recovery day. Some Tuesdays early on in the season, we may go for a 6-8 mile run, a little further. Or depending if I feel like they ran well on the weekends, if they did that 10-mile run, or they asked them to on Sundays. On Wednesday, again, 3 to 4 in the morning, 3-mile warm-up in the afternoon. But now I'm getting closer to race day. Let's just say 400, something a little bit faster, 400s. Okay? About 68, between 68 and 72. Okay? About according to like either the half or mile pace, a little faster. 68 to 72. We may do early on in the season, we may do 12 of them. Okay? So we're going to do something a little faster. Early season, we're going to do 12. 8 to 12, depending. Once again, another 3-mile cool down. So that's another, at least a 10-mile day. Thursday, recovery. Thursday, Fridays, I teach recovery. I'm just going to go for easy. I send them for a 45-minute run, do trails. Okay, I'll follow the leader. Thursdays, I usually a light run, like leave it optional for them because it gets too repetition. Some Thursdays, sometimes we take it easy. We play some games also, depending. If you want to make it fun, also. Depending on the week, like if I feel like we have an off weekend, Thursdays I may make a light, like play manhunt or whatever, something a little different fun. But of course, I have to do a 3-mile warm-up. Fridays, recovery for us. A recovery day is running 5 miles. They're used to it, but I know it sounds crazy, but when your body becomes adapted and used to it, it's like anything else. The more you do something, the better you become at it. So recovery day could be a 5-mile run. This is early on. Like I tell our athletes, we run through the first early race in September. I don't care your times early on. We use them as a platform, okay? We run through them. Only I care about is October. Guess what? The times you're gonna run in September, you're gonna run at least a minute to 30 seconds faster come October if you follow the program. I seen kids peak from that city champs run like a 30 second to 45 seconds difference. That's the goal. People don't remember what you do in September. It's what you do at the end. So right now in September, we're just running through all those races. That's why we run what we do. So on Saturday, a race day is warming up the course. Hey, they're used to it. We've been doing this all week. So for us, say, if you just go through, say, Van Cortlandt, the cow path is fine. You don't have to start all the way back there, the 3-4-1. That might be really a 2-mile warm-up, okay? So you warm up the course, go through your stretching routine, your drills, strides, race the course, cool down the course. Boom, just like that. You almost have another 10-mile day. You don't even realize it. Sunday, I expect them to run an 8 to 10-mile run. Sunday's the key. It's going to separate every program. That's what? Everyone's doing about the same thing. It's what the kids do on their own time. Sunday, that's been always the key, I feel like, to my success as far as running myself. Because I started off, I wasn't a great runner, but I followed like Lou Vasquez's program. I ran my Sundays. When I started running my Sundays, I noticed vast improvements. So I expect them to run about 10 miles early season. Then we start the whole routine again on the following week. Now, some training loads may be like 2-week cycles. Sometimes some people go 2-week cycles. They load up 1 week, they come back the second week. Say around Manhattan College. I'm not looking to peak Manhattan College, but I want to showcase some of my runners so that week I may not run as much. I mean, we're still doubling, but it's going to be faster. Come October now, most of the workouts, it's going to deal with faster tempo, faster pace, picking up the tempo, getting the legs to turn over a little bit more. Okay, now, say, peaking, recovery phase. I say in the middle of October, we stop doubling. Like just when our Brooklyn champs are, like Brooklyn champs, I take it seriously, but I'm not looking at peak for Brooklyn champs. So that's the week in the middle of October, we stop our doubles. Now there's gonna be times, you have to know your athletes, there's gonna be dead legs, okay? keep in mind, there's going to be times you just got to know your athletes. When you may have to cut back the workout, you may have to rest. You need to take an ice bath. If we have buckets, they take ice baths. It helps in recovery. Either that, it's psychological. All of a sudden, like, everyone wants to take an ice bath. Hey, whatever works. If it's more even psychological, great. Okay? But like around October, we stop on doubling. Just by stopping on doubling, they're going to see their performance improve. And when we get back to running at Ben Cortlandt, they're going to see themselves running faster times. Now, I know a lot of you race at Ben Cortlandt. I try to race there early on to set a time, but then I try to stay away from it. So you go there every week, the kids may get stagnant. But staying away for a couple of weeks, they go back, oh wow, they get pumped up, they see a 20-second improvement. You know, they might have had that improvement still, but week after week, it may not be as great. Things become, at least I feel, become stagnant. I like to get a bunch of 5Ks in, because for us, we run 2.5s and prepare for the state champs. Okay, so we stop doubling around October, middle of October. We start cutting down now our mileage, okay? Heading towards the city champs. Now, we ran out of Sundays, about 6-mile runs are fine. Okay, 6 to 8-mile runs are fine. Mondays now, guess what? We're still doing mile repeats or half repeats, but it's gonna be at a fast tempo with more rest. So now instead of giving them about 2 minutes rest in between, I'm giving them 3 minutes rest. I want to be race tempo, okay? So I want the legs to be ready to go. So they may do only 3 miles compared to doing 4 miles that day. But it's going to be high intensity, but longer rest periods. Okay? Then the same things, halves, quarters, everything's going to go much faster. The warm-ups and cool-downs may not going to be as long. I may have to just go warm up for 20 minutes in the park, cool down, maybe just jog back to school, which is about 1.5 miles in the park. So we're cutting down. So basically we're trying to average about 40 to 50 miles a week, but then those weeks, probably dropping down to 30. Okay? So when you're in recovery phase, probably dropping down to 30. But if you don't average early on 40 to 50 miles per week, guess what? That peak phase, you're not going to see that much results from the peak phase. That week, will come city champs, we're going to look at peak, probably barely doing like 5 miles that week, do like a long run, maybe even 3 miles for high tempo. Making the Friday off now, as I start getting the Fridays off. And just cross my fingers and pray come city champs. Sometimes I get nervous that I cut back too much. But you know what? Doing the last 15 years, you just have confidence in yourself and your athletes that it's going to work, the system's going to work. And 9 out of 10 times, it does work. Okay, sometimes you have a kid come city champs, that's where you got to control them, getting too excited, going out too fast. I lost as a team going to the state championship. All of a sudden, my third best runner decided to take out him first and get too excited. The city champs got all pumped up. Got to control that enthusiasm too, which I learned race day. So basically, from race day, like I said, if they do A, B, and C, they should see a 15, 30-second improvement come race day. Now some race day strategies. Okay, so as you know, I said we warm up the course, we get into our drills, strides. Strides are very important, okay? Even after a 5-mile run, we like to do a lot of strides. I like to finish the workout with something fast, this way the mind, the body can remember. We do a lot of downhill training too. Yes, guess what? Cross country is a bunch of uphills. Guess what? You gotta run downhills. You gotta learn how to run those downhills. You gotta be, control the body. So during race day, basically, I want them to run either negative splits or even pace. If they go out too hard, the lactic acid is gonna build up, and you won't be able to finish strong. So it's very important for them to run either. I learned this from marathon training myself now. I actually learned a lot by continue running myself. Especially after burning out the last 4 miles of the New York City Marathon. That's a whole nother story. So basically, come race day, you want them either running even kill or negative splits. And everyone has seen them in the front said, be patient, be patient, be patient. Guess what? At the end, you'll be where you need to be. Okay, the way we run the hills. I like them to attack the hills. I always tell them up and over. Okay, what I mean by up and over? You see, you get to running up the hill, get to the peak of the hill, what happens? you kind of just, your whole body just drops down. So I want them, this is where it comes in training, to run up and over. That means tall. This is where you use your arms a bit to get you up the hill. Pump your arms, guess what? Your legs are going to get you up. Then downhills, rest your arms. But run the downhills aggressively, because what happens is, say someone's in front of you, someone's going up and over, running down, when you get up there, you say, oh, where did he go? Because he ran the downhills aggressively. You don't have to pump your arms, just let your arms flow and run with the downhills. But you have to get up and over. It's where someone else is going like this, and look down, the other guy's already ahead. Disappeared on you. Okay? So that's very key, the up and over technique. That's when you start using, that's where your arms come in. Down the straightaway, your legs gonna be fatigued. This is where I do, this is where form comes in. This is where core comes in. It's like sprinting, where you wanna be, up tall. Okay? Same thing, down the straightaway, you gotta remind yourself. Tall and pump, get that knees up. Just like sprinting. Okay, when you're gonna hear, if you anyone heard me on the straightaway, I always say, pump, 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 pump. And he's trying to get them into a routine. So basically, the faster your arms move, the faster your legs are going to move. So your legs may be dead, but if you start pumping your arms, you're going to get going through the finish line. That's where like a lot of the core and form training comes in.